So I'm from the Shakespeare Academy in England. We've seen some traditional performances today, and we're about to see something a little bit more less than ordinary. What was your vision for this piece?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. What we really wanted was the contrast between the raging elements and the excruciating pain of the characters and how they were feeling, and that's kind of what we were going for. I think.
Good. Yeah, that's great. We've obviously seen a snippet already. We're about to see another snippet now. It's obviously intriguing. It's obviously one of the most dark. It's probably the darkest piece I've ever seen in portraying King Lear. How did you manage to capture that true essence of despair?
Well, I think really it all comes down to being in despair yourself. How else can you show it if you're not there? And trying to do that, it was awful. I was just horrified, but I did it, and we all did it, capturing that despair. It was despairful.
So we're about to see one of, I guess, the most heart-wrenching scenes of the play when the king's out there in the storm. Now, the storm is an intriguing. How did you make it, I guess, so realistic in terms of portraying that storm?
Well, in terms of how we made it realistic, you do have to be in complete and utter despair, and if you listen closely, you'll hear a cougar cry out in despair at some point during the scene, and if nothing else, pay attention to that.
Great. So let's go and see that the performance now, and try not to cry or try not to feel dismayed as you view this.
Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks, rage blow. You cataracts and hurricanes spout till you've drenched our steeples, drowned the corpse, you sulphurous and thought-executing fires. Haunt couriers to oak, cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head. And thou, all shaking thunder, smite flat the thick rotundity o'er the world, crack nature's molds and German spill at once, that make ingrateful man.
Oh, nuncle, coarse holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater out the door. Good nuncle, in, and ask the daughter's blessing. Here's the night, pities neither wise man nor fool.
Rumble thy belly full, spit fire, spout rain, no rain, wind, thunder, fire are my daughters. I tax not you, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. You owe me no subscription, then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man, but yet I call you sir our ministers, that have with two pernicious daughters joined. Your high engendered battles against a head so old and white as this, oh, 'tis foul.
He that has a house to put head in has a good headpiece. The codpiece that will house before the head as any, the head and he shall rouse, so beggars marry many. The man that makes his toe what he his heart should make, shall of a corn cry woe, and turn his sleep to wake. For there was never yet a fair woman, but she made mouths in a glass.
No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing.
Who's there?
Mary, here's grace, and a codpiece. That's a wise man than a fool.
Alas, sir.
Alas, sir, are you here? Things that love night, love not such nights as these. The wrathful skies gallow the very wanderers of the dark, and make them keep their caves. Since I was man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such groans of roaring wind and rain, I never remember to have heard. Man's nature cannot carry the affliction of
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful pother o'er our heads find out their enemies now. Tremble, thou wretch, that hast within thee undivulged crimes unwhipped of justice. Hide thee, thou bloody hand, thou perjured and thou similar man of virtue, thou art incestuous, caitiff to pieces shake, that under covert and convenient seeming hast practised on man's life, close pent-up guilts, rive your concealing continence and cry these dreadful summoners grace, I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Alack, bareheaded, gracious my lord, hard by here is a hovel. Some friendship will it lend you gainst the tempest. Repose you there, while I to this hard house, more harder than the stones whereof 'tis raised, which even but now, demanding after you, denied me to come in, return and force their scanked courtesy.
My wits begin to turn. Come on, my boy. How dost, my boy? Art cold? I am cold myself. Where is this straw, my fellow? The art of our necessities is strange, that can make vile things precious. Come, your hovel, poor fool and knave, I have one part in my heart that's sorry yet for thee.
He that has and a little tiny wit, with hey ho, the wind and the rain, must make content with his fortune's pitch, for the rain it raineth every day.
True, my good boy. Come, bring us to this hovel.
This is a brave knight to a cool courtesan. I'll speak a prophecy ere I go. When priests are more in word than matter, when brewers mar their malt with water, when nobles are their tailors' tutors, no heretics burn but wenches suitors, when every case in law is right, no squire in debt, no poor knight, when slanders do not live in tongues, nor cutlasses come not to throngs, when usurers tell their gold in the field, and bawds and whores do churches build, then shall the realm of Albion come to great confusion. Then comes the time, who lives to see it, that going shall be used with feet. This prophecy Merlin shall make, for I lived before his time.